Chris checked his bank account on a Tuesday morning and felt good. He had $1,140 in checking. No debt, no credit card bill coming at the end of the month, no interest payments going to anyone. Just his money sitting there exactly where he left it. He grabbed his debit card, paid for his coffee, paid for his gas, paid for his groceries, and went home feeling like a responsible adult. Daniel checked his bank account that same Tuesday morning. He had $1,190 in checking, a credit card with a $4,000 limit, and a $580 balance he would settle at the end of the month. On the surface, Daniel looks like the riskier one. He has a balance, he has a payment coming, and by every traditional measure of financial caution, Chris is doing it right and Daniel is cutting it closer than he should. 12 months from now, Daniel is going to be in a meaningfully better financial position than Chris. Not because he earns more, not because he spends less, because the card in Chris's wallet has been quietly working against him in ways he never thought to question. And the card in Daniel's wallet has been building something Chris doesn't have and doesn't even know he's missing. There are 7 ways the debit card is costing Chris money right now. Most people only ever find out about 1 or 2 of them, but the one that does the most long-term damage, the one that will cost Chris more than almost any financial mistake he could consciously make, has nothing to do with fees. It has nothing to do with fraud. It is about a 3-digit number that determines the price he pays for everything important in his financial future. And his debit card is doing absolutely nothing to help it. Here is what Chris and Daniel's story actually looks like. Let's get into it. Chris grew up hearing one rule about money. If you don't have it, don't spend it. His parents used cash for everything, and when they eventually moved to cards, they used debit. Debit meant discipline. Credit meant danger. That was the lesson. It made sense then, and it still makes sense to him now. No credit card means no balance, no interest, no debt, no risk. Clean. So Chris is 27, earns $48,000 a year, has never owned a credit card, and pays every bill on time. Rent, phone, utilities, subscriptions, never late, never missed, not once. By every reasonable standard, Chris is responsible with money. His credit score is 614. Not because he defaulted on anything, not because he made a bad financial decision, because a credit score does not measure how responsible you are with money. It measures how much experience you have managing credit. And Chris has given the system nothing to measure. It doesn't care that he has never overdrafted. It doesn't reward him for paying rent on time for 4 straight years. It only scores what it can track. And Chris, by avoiding every form of credit his entire adult life, has handed it nothing to work with. Daniel opened one credit card 2 years ago. He uses it for regular spending and pays the full balance most months. He has 24 months of on-time payment history, a utilization rate under 20%, and 2 years of account age working in his favor. His credit score is 744. That 130-point gap is not abstract. It is not a vanity number. It is a dollar figure. And the dollar figure attached to it is one of the largest hidden costs in personal finance. Here's the thing. Most people think about credit scores as a pass-fail system. You either get approved or you don't. But the real cost of a low score is not rejection. It is the price you pay when you do get approved. 5 years from now, Chris and Daniel both decide to buy a home. Same city. Same $280,000 house. Same 10% down payment. They are both applying for a $252,000 mortgage. Daniel, at 744, qualifies for a 30-year mortgage at 6.4%. His monthly payment is $1,574. Over 30 years, he pays $316,640 in total interest. Total cost of the house, $568,640. Chris, at 614, qualifies for the same loan, but at 8.1%. His monthly payment is $1,872. Over 30 years, he pays $421,920 in total interest. Total cost of the house, $673,920. The difference between Chris and Daniel on the exact same house, the exact same loan amount, the exact same 30-year term, is $105,280. $105,000. Not because Chris is less disciplined, not because he earns less or saves less, because the card he used to buy coffee and groceries for 5 years built nothing, while Daniel's card was quietly constructing a financial profile that the mortgage system rewards at every single stage. That is the real cost of the debit card-only strategy. Not fees, not fraud. $105,000 on a single loan. Now here is the fraud piece. And unlike the credit score damage, which builds slowly over years, this one can hit tomorrow morning. Most debit card users have no idea how exposed they are until it actually happens to them. Chris stops at a gas station on his way to work. He swipes his debit card at the pump. What he doesn't know is that a card skimmer was installed on that pump 3 days ago. Whoever put it there now has his card number and his PIN. By the time Chris gets home, $1,140 is gone from his checking account. His rent is due in 5 days. He calls his bank immediately and files a dispute. The bank tells him debit fraud investigations take 3 to 10 business days. His rent doesn't wait. His auto payments don't wait. Chris is about to miss his rent, overdraft his account, collect a late fee, and potentially damage his rental history. Daniel has the exact same thing happen to him. Same skimmer, same station, same week, but his actual money was never touched. Completely different consequences. Now look, before we go further, I know exactly what some of you are thinking right now. Daniel carries a balance sometimes. He pays interest. Doesn't that cancel everything? It is a fair question. Daniel pays about $127 per year in interest. Over 5 years, about $635. He spent $635 to save $105,280. The math is not close. Here's what most people don't realize. Every time any card is swiped, the merchant pays a fee, and you're already paying for it. Chris pays prices that include rewards, but gets none. Daniel spends $18,000 a year and earns $360 back. Chris earns nothing. Over 10 years, $3,600 difference. This is where it gets interesting. The real reason people avoid credit is not math. It's emotion. The pain of payment. But today, tap to pay feels the same. The pain is gone, but the financial consequences are still very real. So here is what Daniel actually does. He uses his card only for predictable expenses. He sets autopay. He checks once a week. That's it. 2 minutes a week for a 6-figure outcome. Chris will figure this out eventually, usually when it matters most. Mortgage, loan, apartment. He sees the number, and the confusion hits. The good news? The system fixes fast. 12 to 18 months, he crosses 700. But every month he waits, the gap grows. Chris didn't lose because he was careless. He lost because he was careful with the wrong tool. Daniel didn't win because he took risk. He won because he understood the system and played it correctly. Same income, same discipline, same Tuesday morning. The only difference was the card. Most people never realize the card they thought was safe was the one quietly costing them the most. And the one that looked risky was the one quietly building everything.